Welcome, everybody, to the Brother Speak podcast. This is Brother Speak. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. This last night was I want to say, very interesting. I was on DJ Torch's channel, just in the clouds, watching, commenting in the chat, and apparently there's this big feud between him and Peso, man. Now, I've been on DJ Torch's panels and listened to his live streams. He wants to make a safe space for black women, which nothing wrong with that. I don't have a particular problem with it. Now, me, I'm not to make a safe space for black women. My thing is just I'm more for the black men's side. I'm not for the black women's side like that. But I commend people for wanting to do that, because you can look at a lot of these online channels. It's not really a safe space for black women, and it's not really a safe space for black men either. So it's out there. There are a lot of people trying to scam. They're using these black women pain to make a profit, and you know, you can understand, as a capitalist, I mean, this is business. It's effed up, because you got a lot of women out here who, in their lives, it's not going the way that they want, and they looking for praise online that they might not be getting in their real life. And that's really sad, because if you're looking for praise online, good luck to you. And there are a lot of people, men and women, who will use that against you, so you can keep lining their pockets. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, we've seen example of guys and girls using black women pain, but if they don't get their way, they turn on these people, and which is sad, because then now there's no trust. I know one of the people that I used to visit a lot, Ebony Star Network, he would have a frustration because some of these women do not trust that he's really genuine. And a lot of times, because there's been so many people who were scammed, so many people that they've given their Cashapps big up, followed, but then when something didn't go their way, maybe they didn't get the validation that they wanted, or for some of these dudes or women, they didn't get the vagina they wanted, and all of a sudden, black women are the scum of the earth. Seen it happen. It's tragic. And what's even worse, those people would do that to the black woman, and then there'd be other black women who just, oh, well, that's her fault. She did something. I'm like, wait a minute, but it's supposed to be the person supposed to be protecting black women, but he's dissing black women, calling them stupid, cussing them out, and doing even worse stuff, scamming, and everything's cool. Okay, hey, but seem kind of hypocritical, and especially when some of these women talk about the manosphere, how they do, but the guy that you're following or the girl that you're following is doing the same thing, if not worse, than the manosphere is doing to these women. But it's okay for him to do it or her to do it, because the overall goal is, we got to go against the manosphere. We got to go against the red pillars. We got to go against these other black men out here, the celebrities. I'm like, but all they doing is talking. all they really doing is talking. They ain't going. They ain't gonna put their hands on them. Because I've said it before on different panels. I said, "What are you going? Okay, so they saying this stuff about black women. What are you gonna do about it? I mean, you're doing live streams. Okay, that's great. But then what? Because the only way you're gonna really stop them, because YouTube's not stopping them like that. Instagram's not stopping them like that. Twitter, shoot, Twitter don't stop anything unless unless the people demand it, then they get stopped. Which, by the way, how you get banned on Twitter? I'm just, that's just a side note. How you get banned on Twitter? I literally see porn on Twitter, little porn. Like one of my accounts, literally you'll see porn. It's just porn, porn, porn. Chicks naked, effing, literally. I'm like, how is this even going on? Remind me of Trump Tumblr back in the day. Tumblr was like, dude, people were putting like pornos on there till they shut that down. I don't know if they got a lawsuit or something happened. But Twitter now, it's just like porn city. It's like, how you get banned on Twitter? You gotta be doing too much to get banned on Twitter, bro. Because I've seen way too much. Some of the shit I had to block. Like, I don't want to see this crap. But anyway, a little side note on that. But yeah, this whole thing, there's a lot of people are trying to get a lot of these women to praise them, worship them, because a lot of these people don't get that in real life. And of course, women support. They support more than men, and they will drop cash apps, super chats to you, especially if you tell them, "Hey, it's not your fault, black women. It's these black men. These black men are terrible. You can do whatever. It's not your fault. It's their fault. Black girl magic, all that stuff." Not hold these women accountable unless they say something they don't like or do something they don't like. Oh, I think I agree with the Mansfield this part. Mammy, you're mammy, you're male identified. What? Okay. All right. Let's go with that. Okay, bro. But anyway, so like I said last night, I was on djTorch's channel looking at his live stream. I guess there's an issue with him and Peso, man, and one person in the fray that I remember seeing who be on djTorch's channel defending black women is Rico. Now, now I found out Rico up in this shit because he said something on the lines that he wants his wife to look younger, or like younger, or look like a younger woman, something like that. Which probably, I guess it turns out he said he misspoke, and Tam came on there and collaborated what he said. That, yeah, I misspoke. I instantly corrected it. Which, if that's what happened, and she said it did, that should have been in it. But apparently, Rico's having an issue with Razor Ray's, who's supposed to be this passport bro, but he's not as bad as the other passport bros. So I guess Razor Ray's called him a pedo. So then Rico called him a pedo. I'm like, listen, we had a lot of this. We saw a lot of this back in 2018 on the Mansfield side, because some of the Mansfield dudes like, oh, I want a young woman, 18, 19. And you had Taz going around calling everybody pedos, even though when some of that stuff didn't really apply. You just accusing people of being pedo without no evidence of them being pedo. Oh, they said this. Listen, bro. Unless you have actual evidence, you can't be going around calling people pedos. Because that could fuck up someone's not only the online reputation, but that could also fuck with someone's job. If the wrong job hears it, that person getting fired. So I don't throw that pedo word lightly. Just because you don't like the fact that he said 19-year-old, okay, he's a 19-year-old. Would I let my, if I had a 19-year-old, would I let date a grown ass man 30, 20, like 30, 40? No, I wouldn't. But at the same time, it's not illegal. That's not what considered a pedo. There's a definite definition of what is called a pedo. And you going around calling something pedo because he like a 19-year-old, that's not a pedo. Yes, it's weird. Yes, I think that's sick in a sense because it's like, wait a second, what the fuck you and a 19-year-old guy talk about? And then when you hear these guys talk about it, oh, okay, you just want control over one. Which is still weird to me. I'm like that when you hear some of these guys talk about this whole why they want a 19-year-old, they want a controller, teacher. I'm like, the fuck I look like at 43. I'm about to be 44 in what was that? In almost 2 weeks. You think I got time to try to teach a woman how to be a wife? I ain't got time for that. That's why I'm like 10 up, 10 down, 34 to 54. I'm not trying to teach a woman shit. And how to treat me, she can learn what I respond to. I'm not trying to teach a woman shit. Stuff about being a wife and being a competent woman, that she should learn in her home. That is not my job to teach. Sorry. They want, but these guys want control. That sounds exhausting to me. I got another exhaustion at my job, trying to control grown ass children. You think I want to? I got to wrestle with grown ass children at my job. Then I got to come home and wrestle with a grown ass child. He at my house. You got me fucked up. But anyway, so I guess Rico said that. Then it was confirmed that it was weird, and then Razor was throwing shots, and I guess DJ Torch, who knows both of them, he got involved. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. There is no way you can, and this is where the problem with being neutral. Even if you talk on these feuds like this, especially if you know these people, somebody is going to look at you funny because it's like, why are you even speaking on it? So DJ Torch was saying, okay, well, he had a valid point here, and then, okay, this was not. So Rico confronted him on the panel. Why are you even talking about this? Why are you even saying he had a point? This dude ain't no good. So why are you hanging on him? And so DJ Torch is like, okay, well, why are you hanging with fucking Peso? So then they got a little back and forth, but then they kind of squashed it. But that's the part of being neutral. If you talk about even these feuds, somebody's going to look at you like you are taking someone's side. I know. I like when uh, D Darrell and MOT was gonna get into it, and I like both people's channels, so I go over to both. MOT saw me on D Darrell's channel because he was talking about the what was it, the Passport Bros or something like that. Oh no, SYSBM, yeah. So I went over the MOT channel. He said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Why are you over here? he was clowning us, and you didn't say nothing. I said, well, one, I didn't take it. Oh, I remember. He was saying that a lot of these SYSBM guys are like Billy Porter, and he was like, "Why you didn't say nothing?" I said, "Cause I took it as a joke. I wasn't taking it seriously. So why? If I'm not taking that shit seriously. That was a fucking joke. So like he literally like you can't be over here. I'm like, first of all, I'm a grown ass man. I go wherever the fuck I want to go. There are places where there's certain people who I rock with would not like me going over there. But I haven't had one person say anything to me about it, except for MOT. But that was about it. Because my mind is, you can't tell me where the fuck I go. I go to pro black channels. I go to SYSBM channels. I go to places that are black women empowerment channels. I go to where they talk about black men. Would you would consider black men empowerment channel? I can consider myself kind of like black men empowerment channel to a degree. Because everything I even talk about is a lesson for black men what not to do. I make no bones about it. I'm for black men. I'm not anti-black women, but you're not gonna see me put the pom poms for all of them. Just not. I'm not gonna overlook their dysfunction just because they feelings get hurt. No, if they doing some fucked up shit, they gonna get called out. Now I have understanding why they doing it, and I do bring that out, but I, that still doesn't erase their dysfunction because I am an individualist. I believe in individuals, and you have the choice to make your own decisions. And if you choose the wrong decisions, that's on you. Every religion says the same thing. Your decision is on you, regardless. But besides that, so and then there were people defending Peso. There, I think a woman went on the panel defending Peso, and like, why you didn't address Peso? Why you won't let him up? And I'm like, I'm like, I've seen the videos that Peso did on DJ Torch and Tam, and looking at the comments he made to both of them. Do you think you're gonna have a civil conversation? And I said in the chat, I said, okay, well, why didn't Peso? If you're saying that DJ Torch is supposed to be the one to be the bigger man, why couldn't Peso? If he had an issue with DJ Torch and Tam, then it's real simple. It's a simple fix. Bring him on the live stream and talk it out. But he didn't do that. Instead, he dragged them. And so Torch responded. I remember I seen a little bit of Tam's response. I'm like, you can't. It's funny that certain people, like I said again, certain people can do some fucked up shit to black women, and there'll be a black woman who will defend that and say, well, or make excuses. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. You will shit on the manosphere and some of these dudes online who shit on black women. But the person that you support does it now is a pro now is a but it's not a problem when they do it. You give them excuses. I'm like, no, it's the same shit. They ain't no if he's supposed to be a safe space for black women, and he shouldn't be doing shit like that. On Everything Star Network, Max, as much as some of these women anger him. I ain't see him calling them B's. I ain't see him calling them HOs. I F these women. The most we can say, like when Miss Chantel, when they had their feud, call her the devil. But that's about the closest I've seen. But that's about it. He's very respectful. But this this dude can do all this stuff, and you ain't got a problem. But weird. I'm like, look, if you're gonna be a protector of black women, quote unquote, you can't be doing stuff like that to a black woman. I don't care how mad she gets you. Especially what he was saying about her vagina and stuff. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, what got in his ass about this chick? What did she do? Because I've been on panels with Tam and been to a channel. I'm like, for the most part, I'm like, she's very fair. So I'm like, but what the bigger problem is, what I see is that this is a fight for black women, praise, and cash apps. And this ain't new. This thing with DJ Torch and Peso Man ain't new. I've seen this before. I've seen it with Taz and Honest Truth. When Honest Truth, I'm like, after that viral video of Kevin Samuels, like Kevin Samuels, a lot of these channels, these divested channels, these men who's on that divested kick, they should be kicking some money to Kevin Samuels' family, because if it wasn't for Kevin Samuels and that viral video and then his uprising, a lot of these channels wouldn't even be here right now. Cynthia G was dead in the water until Kevin Samuels started blowing up, and then that's how she got up to 100,000 subscribers. Honest Truth was dead in the water. He was a manosphere guy for a bit, but he saw how they were going after Kevin. That's when he switched his stuff around, and he got up there real quick. Jawan Whiteside, same thing. He tried to go that other route because he was part of the manosphere. There's been others. Alexander Bringington, who could barely talk, he blowing up. So this is nothing new. When Kevin Samuels blew up, that's when this anti-black male sentiment seemed to rise even more. Not that it wasn't there. This anti-manosphere, anti-red pill, it was there, but it kind of lulled out, because it's like at some point, like, okay, we get it. These men ain't shit. Now what? Okay, these men ain't shit. Now what? Yeah, they doing for fucked up shit. Now what? What we gonna do past that? So, I mean, like, what we gonna do past that? But then Kevin got big because of that average at best video, which again, Kevin did not call her average at best. She said that. He just agreed with her. When that blew up, this now anti-manosphere, we hate Kevin Samuels thing blew up, and all these different channels stopped blowing up. But then that's where the other issue come in, because now it became a fight for these women's praises and cash apps. Because I'm gonna tell you something, there's big money not only telling women what they want to hear, but pretending to be a safe space for women. There's big money in it. I mean, Derek Jackson showed you that. There's big money in it. And then when Kevin blew up, oh, that money, it was a fucking gold mine. And then that's when these feuds start coming up. Like Honest Truth and Taz and Nyla was feuding. And I'm like, why should y'all be feuding? Y'all should be on the same side. But the money. There was money to be had. And some people don't like to share it. I mean, there's enough money in the pot for everybody, but there's some people who don't want to share. And I mean, let's be honest, Honest Truth was younger looking dude with the dreadlocks. Kind of like look like one the bass Pluto Morpheus guy, the black pillar over there. Look like him, except the only difference between the two, Morpheus has the stutter, and Honest Truth don't, and he has a better presentation. But they look pretty much the same, personally. But that's me. So we saw that whole feud between Honest Truth and Taz and Nyla, because Taz and Nyla don't want to share that money. And then you saw Jerome Whiteside get into it with other people, bunch of divestors with other women, because he didn't want to share the money, because he wasn't really getting it like Honest Truth was, because he's dark skinned and his personality, yeah. So, and then you see that there's some of these people really ain't really for the protection of black women. They really just for the pockets. Because again, who can remember when Honest Truth had Space Ghost Perp on there, and he was treating them like kid glove? But every other like Mansfield dude, the dude who could barely talk, he get off the panel, he would roast the shit out of them, try to make them look idiotic. But Space Ghost Perp, oh, Mr. Perp, can I give you some water, sir? It's sad when other people on your same panel gave Space Ghost Perp the business, but you couldn't. That's why his subscriber count went down, but it's still up there. They still hang on us. They just hate the Mansfield that much. So, like I said, this stuff ain't new. Um, Derek Jackson and Kevin Samuels, because Kevin was dipping into Derek Jackson's money. Because whereas Derek Jackson was telling these women want to hear, oh, you're perfect just the way you are, blah 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 blah. That you don't have to change nothing. Kevin was like, oh, hey, you want to get a high value man? Here, come talk to me. Now I'll roast you, but you still gonna learn how to get a high value man, aka a high value trick. Of course, Derek that was cutting in Derek's money, but Kevin still fixed that. And to this day, I still say that Kevin Samuels was responsible for Derek Jackson getting exposed. I believe wholeheartedly that Kevin paid Tasha K to expose him. I believe that. I still believe that to this day. That'd be people say, "Oh no, that's not true." I'm like, look at the interview that Tasha K did with Kevin Samuels. Softball question. She didn't go in on him at all. But all of a sudden, Derek Jackson, who's always never said nothing negative to black women, all of a sudden she got an expose on Derek Jackson. Come on now. I was born yesteryear, but I wasn't born yesterday. Of course, then you had Umar was going against Kevin because again, you're dipping in their money again. You're dipping in the money. And so breaking down all the way down to now you have DJ Torch and Peso Man, because you're dipping in that money. You're dipping in that praise. Even though there's enough, that's really it's enough of the pie to go around. Trust me. There's a bunch of women who feel like they need black men validation that bad because they ain't getting it. They need black men to say, "Oh, black women ain't horrible. These men are crazy." I'm like, no, you like, bro, you know, I don't need to be saying that to everybody. I don't know these women. I don't know these women personally, and I I give my praise selectively. They're women who have earned it, and I give them a lot of praise. But there's some people who haven't earned it. I don't know them, and I don't fucking care to know them. They want praise. They need to go outside, live a fucking life. You waiting for people online? Something wrong with you. You hanging on every word of someone online? Yeah, you need to go get a doctor. Go to a therapist. Online ain't it. Because again, just like I say about black men, you let these dudes, if you weak mentally, physically, emotionally weak, you are food for these people online. That's no different with the women. If you're emotionally, spiritually, mentally weak, you are food for people. And they will use you up and spit you out. They will dog you out. They will talk shit about you, but you will still give them cash apps and praise. You will go on different channels defending them. You would do just like those women did at Jeremy Brown's funeral, twerking, putting on Knockout King. You got women who's defending fucking Butter Polite. Literally got the semen on his shirt, but they still saying, "Oh, it's a police conspiracy." Never mind the fact that the police did not arrest him when this initial charge came out. No, they investigated him for 6 months. I mean, come on now. Hell, people still following young Pharaoh. I mean, I'm looking at why the fuck they following this motherfucker. But it's crazy. Some dude named Nature Boy. They up there barking like a dog for this dude. And I'm like, what the fuck? You barking like a dog for this goofy motherfucker? What is wrong with these people? Hell, there's still people who like Angry Man. Some women still like Angry Man. Why? I don't know. Because every time he talks at this point, he has looked weaker and weaker by the day. But yet they still listen to him. They still listen to Edward Anderson. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Bernard Riley. Why? But I mean, it's just sad. But there are women who need the validation of black males, not black men, black males. But yet these be the same ones who will criticize someone like Super Mike, BMT, Information Man. These people, Ebony Star, Max on the Ebony Star Network, they will be criticizing them to the utmost. Why y'all talking about these guys? You shouldn't talk about them. Hey, you I'm like, what the fuck? But It's a topsy turvy world. This internet, and everybody gets a fan. And it don't matter if they insulting these women. It don't matter if they dogging them out. Hell, there's still people who fans. There's still women who are fans of RBR. RBR. They will still listen to RBR. Even some men like to still listen to RBR. And there's some men who should know better not to listen to this goofy ass motherfucker. But guess what? They'll still listen to him. Oh, and I forgot about the feud between RBR and Max at the Star Network. I forgot about that feud because RBR believes that he's not lying to these women. He's telling them the truth, and Max is, and Max is like, this dude is cussing you out, talking to you like a dog. Why are you listening to him? And they be getting on his ass about it. And I'm like, why are y'all still listening to this motherfucker? Y'all are giving him more praise and worship just by listening to this fuck nigga. I'm like, I need like 30 seconds to listen to RBR, and I'll be like, I'm turning the channel. I don't need to listen to this crazy motherfucker. But there are women who want to go over there, listen to him, praise him. Oh, he's an elder, or just to argue with him. And I'm like, what's there to argue? You arguing with a crazy man. What the fuck? What kind of entertainment that is? But that people, they get entertained by it. Okay. But then don't cry when these men are calling you dog. They dogging you out on the manosphere side, and some of these dudes on the internet doing that. But you listen to this motherfucker just to argue with him or praising him, cash apping him. I don't want to. I don't want to hear a fucking word. I don't want to fucking hear it because you fake as fuck. But again, this is the fight for black women, cash app and praise. It's a fight because some people don't want to share. Even though the money it's a big pot, anybody can get it. They don't want to. They don't want to fight for it. I mean, they don't want to. They don't want to share. They want to be the head person in charge. And it ain't just the men, the women too. I mean, hell, Cynthia G and Pink Pill, they were feuding. Bomb and Faith were feuding. This cash apps and praise is a big thing. Now, to be fair on for Bomb and Faith, it wasn't more of a cash app and praise. It was more of a it was a clash of ideologies. So I want to put that out there. It's not with this part, but still it kind of applies because people were giving them cash apps, praise, and all kinds of stuff. But it's a big battle, and if one feel threatened, guess what? They're gonna attack the other person. It's really sad, but it's like, well, black women don't have really no space to go to, and the ones that they do have, they're gonna be overly critical because they have so many fakes and scammers. That's why I say you can't be looking on the internet to try to find praise and worship, validation. Because again, if you are weak in the mind, body, soul, you are food. And these people will use you up. And then when they ain't done with you, they will spit you out. I've seen it too much. Seen it in real life too much to be like. So when some woman tell me, hey, I got this dude, oh, he's talking good shit about us. I'm like, okay, well, I suggest you watch him. Watch them more than anything. Especially a person going way too hard to paint for you. That's the one you need to watch the most. I'm not watching the dude who one side one they on for the women, the other side for the men, because at least they balance with that for the most part. I'm looking at the person who's going way too hard in the paint for black women, way too hard, excusing stupid behavior by black women. That's the one I'm looking at the most, because that's the one that's going to stab me in the back, and they're going to stab those women in the back because if they don't do what he wants them to do or she wants them to do, that's the one that's going to get on your ass. And that one you're probably not going to see coming. You got to be careful, and this is just the men and women. You got to be careful about these women praising these guys who supposedly defending black women. You got to be careful about those channels. Listen, I'm not saying don't go over there. I'm not saying don't participate, but you need to watch them. And you always got to be wary of a person going too hard in the paint for black women. Too hard in the paint when they really shouldn't. Like I said, I have no problem with guys and women trying to create a safe space for black women. I don't have a problem with that. Because I know I'm not going to have that space because I'm a neutral party. There ain't no safe space here. But when the women are right, I agree. When they wrong, I disagree. Sorry, that's my mother in me. My mother was not, she was a no excuse accepting person. She ain't accepted from me. She ain't accepted from her girlfriends. So why would I do any different? And my channel reflects that. But again, you will never see me going too hard to paint for black women. It's not gonna happen. I I I'm not gonna do that. Because again, I'm not looking for their praise and worship and their cash apps. I'm not. I get paid outside of YouTube. I get paid outside of social media. My money is not here. I'm just here to give advice and give opinions. That's it. But this whole feud with DJ Torch and Peso, man, and all the other feuds, I mean, it is what it is because there's big money in getting black women's cash apps and praise. There's big money in it. And hell, you have white men gotten into it and getting money. It's real easy. Well, I won't say it's that easy, but once you crack the code, oh yeah, money coming. So anyway, I just want to get on there and talk about that. And anyway, it's just there's people who want to use these women paying to get cash apps, get the praise because they never got in real life, and they willing to fight for it. They willing to fight for it. And as a neutral party, your content creators are fighting each other. I suggest stay out of it. Don't even stay out of that mess. That's what I do for the most part. I stay out of it. It's not my beef. And none of these people pay me enough to pick a side. I'm just not. And I suggest for everybody else, you do the same thing. You observe, and at the end of the day, if you still like them people, you can hang with them. Now, if they try to make you choose a side, that's one you don't choose. Nobody's going to tell me where to go. And nobody should tell you where to go. Because if you're going to a place, that's because you like them. Now, again, you have to accept the good and bad with the person as long as you understand, hey, you might end up looking like a hypocrite on here. If you're willing to accept it, hey, roll with the content creators. It is what it is. So with that, I'm gonna get up out of here. I just wanted to talk about that right quick. And like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Black man, be powerful or be powerless. The choice is yours. Have a good one. Peace.